My name's Dave Wilderman. I'm a natural areas program ecologist with the Department of Natural Resources here in Washington. We're monitoring a population of a very rare plant species, the Wenatchee Mountain checker-mallow, that's only found here and within about 5 miles of this site, a handful of other spots. And this is by far the largest population of it in the world. That's the only place it's found in the world. So it's about typically 2 feet tall, maybe, the flowering stalk, and it has these really nice little pink flowers. It's related to other mallows, which people might be familiar with, but a little head of pink flowers. Leaves are about 3 inches by 3 inches.
So this is a really rare endemic, known pretty much only in this area that we are standing in, which is the Okanagan-Wenatchee forest. So it's very rare. There's a lot of really important pollinator connections, and it's something that we're working really hard both through monitoring as well as outplanting introduction work.
It's long-term monitoring to track the status of the population here. So each year we rotate around to different parts of the site and count the plants and map them out so we can look at the distribution and how they're moving on the site. Within the Wenatchee Mountains here, which are kind of a separate, geologically a separate mountain range from the Cascades, and the thought is that they weren't very heavily glaciated back when the main glaciers, the continental glaciers, didn't come quite this far south. There weren't many what are called alpine glaciers, so plant species like the Wenatchee Mountain checker-mallow kind of survived in this little island of habitat through the glaciation.
Are there particular threats to this plant population right now?
Yeah, there's invasive species are a main concern. We do a lot of invasive species control, weed control here at this site. Excessive sort of trampling or compaction of the soil is really can be a problem. And then changing of the hydrology, so the plant's really dependent on seasonal flooding and wet soils into the growing season. And so anything that kind of modifies that hydrology is a potential concern, including, the predicted shrinking of snowpack, because these meadows are mostly fed by melting snow. And so as the snowpack is reduced over time, they'll dry out.
Climate change, habitat loss, hydrology changes, your typical fire would be a big issue. Fire, since it has such a narrow range of population, a big fire in here could take out the whole population really quickly. It's kind of a treasure hunt. So we're all walking through sometimes thick brush, but when you see one, it's really rewarding. And there's not a lot of them. There's a reason it's rare. So it's really fun to, just kind of the camaraderie of the whole thing is really nice. Not only are we doing the monitoring, but we're really working hard to do some reintroduction work and find places where it might be likely to grow so that we can spread the population out so that it is more protected against fire or any kind of localized disturbance. So Rare Care is working with Forest Service and some of our other partners to find areas with habitat, and then we plant checker-mallow out. We grow them out in the greenhouse and seeds, and then we plant them out. So we're doing some work for introduction as well.
Is it rough to try and cultivate a species like this in a controlled environment?
Yes it is. It's quite challenging. This one is not even one of the most picky ones, but it still is not like growing vegetables. It has some pretty significant requirements that we're still just learning about because, again, it's so rare and we know so little about it.